Hello, my name is Andre Komrink and I'm Extension Manager for CRI based in the Eastern Cape. Fruit fly pose a serious threat to citrus in South Africa. The Natal fruit fly and the Mediterranean fruit fly are indigenous species that are widely spread in citrus orchards in South Africa, and farmers need to monitor for these two fly species. There are a couple of different trap systems that are registered for monitoring these fly species in citrus orchards. In this video we're going to demonstrate or have a look at the Delta trap that you can also use to trap Mediterranean and Natal fruit fly in your orchard. It comes in this form. It's got a wire attachment that you're going to use to attach it to the tree. It comes folded open like this, so you just basically, it's a pretty simple system. You have to fold it on the lines like that and click it in. Ensure it's secure. The wire system, you fold in like that. This one is already attached. And then it's got on the sides here. This also needs to be clipped in here. This is to make sure that the sticky pad that I'll show just now stays where it should be and doesn't get blown out by the wind. Basically simple system, assemble it like this. And with this trap, then we'll also come the sticky pad. This is what it looks like. It's got a grid system here that basically helps you just as the flies get stuck on this, and you'll be counting on your weekly basis here. You're monitoring, it just enables it, makes it a little bit easier for you to count the traps if it's got this grid system here. So with this trap, there's no insecticide action needed to kill the flies, because the way that the flies get trapped here would be by means of this sticky pad. The sticky pad gets inserted into the trap like so, and then this lid gets folded in here to stop the sticky pad from blowing out in the wind. Make sure it stays where it should be, and then the only next thing that we have to do is to load the attractant lure. So this Delta trap functions with a tri-med lure, which looks like that. And in this case, what you will do is the lure will get stuck into the center of the trap like that, attracting the flies. You push it in. And the trap is ready to be hung out in the orchard. So the tri-med lure with a Delta trap would be attracting male flies of the Mediterranean and Natal fly. Some of these traps will have an opening on the side here, so it comes with a basket like this. If it does have that, then basically the lure gets placed into the basket like that, and it gets pushed into the hole on the side of the trap like this. In this case, this trap doesn't have it, so we stick it on the sticky pad like that, which also works fine. In deploying the fruit fly traps into the tree or into the orchard, there's a couple of things to note here. In hanging the traps, you basically want to use the shady side of the tree. You don't want to be hanging it on the, let's say, the afternoon sun side of the tree. The idea is to keep it out of direct sunlight. You're also not going to be hanging it on the outside of the canopy. Aim more towards the inside of the canopy here, so you can get it also out of the wind, the path of the wind, and it also make sure that it doesn't collect too much dust if it's hung on the inside, basically, of the canopy. So when hanging out the traps into the orchard, you would like to clear a space, let the trap hang freely. There's no leaves or fruit cluttering the trap. This is basically so the pheromone can disperse evenly, and also to keep the ants out and to give free access for the flies to enter the trap. In terms of hanging out the traps in the trees as well into the orchard, we prefer that it doesn't get hung in the middle of the orchard. We prefer that you hang it out on the outside 2 to 4 rows of an orchard, so it's basically covered almost like the outside boundary of the orchard. These traps must be spaced at least 30 meters apart. So It'll be good to mark these traps on your farm map or mark the trap in some way so the monitor can easily find it. Another way would be just to employ deploy it in a sort of a grid system that makes sense to the individual farm or farmer, making it easy for him to monitor these traps on a weekly basis. For more information on where the trap must specifically be hung for the different traps, you can also consult the attractant lure labels, which will also explain a little bit more on how the trap should be deployed into a tree. For more information about fruit fly monitoring and fruit fly management, you can always contact your local area extension manager or visit our website. On the website you'll be able to also find CRI's fruit fly management guidelines. In there you'll find further information on trap thresholds and a bit more detail on everything to do with fruit fly management and citrus orchards in South Africa. Thank you.